Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And today I'm doing a review on the Netflix anime, Records of Ragnarok. And before I get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. So, Records of Ragnarok is a new anime that just came out on Netflix, and I was recommended by a friend because of the whole story of it is humans versus gods, and pretty much the whole entire anime is a tournament anime. So if you love tournament fights in anime, like the Dark Tournament in Yu Yu Hakusho or some of the Tenkaichi Budokai tournaments in the Dragon Ball series, then this anime will be right up your alley. Now, pretty much why the humans and the gods are having to fight is because every thousands of years, the gods, they have a meeting where it's like, okay, what are we going to do with humanity? And the humans, they've been around now, what I want to say is like for 7 million years of human history. The gods are just like, okay, let's wipe out the humans. And before they can wipe the humans out, you have the Valkyrie, Brunhilde, who is the leader of the Valkyries. She's like, why don't you guys let the humans try to fight, and if they win, then they can survive and humanity won't be erased. And that's pretty much the premise for the entire series. I will say that when I first started watching the series, it's like I kind of wasn't feeling it like that for real. It was definitely one of those shows where it's like I started watching the episode and then I came back to, and then I started watching, and it was a lot of stop and start watching of this anime. And you have a total of 3 fights. There's a total of 12 episodes, and the fights that you have Lubo, who is a military leader, and he is a warlord, and he ends up fighting Thor. And then you have Adam, who is Adam from the Bible, and he ends up fighting Zeus. Zeus is pretty much the leader of all of the gods. He's supposedly the strongest out of all the gods. And then you have Kojiro Sasaki, who is a famous Japanese swordsman, and he ends up fighting Poseidon. Now, all of the fights, they're really good. The animation is really good. The music is good. It's just that I want to say, like, that first fight between Thor and Lubu, while it did have like I said, the fight was good. It's just that I just wasn't really feeling it. But when we got to the fight between Adam and Zeus, like that fight, it was phenomenal. And like that's the fight that really hooked me on to this series. Now, another thing too, I'm pretty sure that you saw the meme of the 2 guys, and like they were holding up the chick who had really huge boobs. Yeah, I mean, I saw that meme going around. I didn't know where it was from, and that's when my friend, he had hit me up, and he told me about Records of Ragnarok. And even though he told me about that, I still didn't know where that picture was from until somebody in the comment section on Facebook had said that it's from a new anime on Netflix called Records of Ragnarok. Now, just to give you a little backstory on the anime too, it is based off of the manga that came out in 2017, and this manga, it is still ongoing. The fights are still happening between the humans and the gods. Like I said earlier, there's a total of 13 fights, and the humans, they have to win 7 of those fights. So in season 1, we've had a total of 3 fights so far. I don't want to spoil who has won which fight and who lost which fight, because it's interesting how the different outcomes from the fights happen. I will just say that we do get kind of like a cliffhanger at the end, where the 4th fight is going to be between Jack the Ripper and Hercules. And what's interesting about this is because we know who Jack the Ripper is. We've heard the stories and whatnot, and Jack the Ripper, he's supposedly fighting for humanity, but it's just like, why would I want to cheer for Jack the Ripper? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'd rather cheer for Hercules, because who doesn't love Hercules? Something else too about this anime is that like the people that they choose to, the humans that they choose to fight the gods, they are taken from random parts of time. And so, like, let's say, for example, like Jack the Ripper, for example, okay, if when they take him out of time, because like these people, it's like they're already dead and whatnot. When they bring them to fight the gods, they're in their prime when they fight them. And usually the people that are in the stands are people like on the god sides, it's like the same people that are there the entire time. But on the human side, the crowds, they always change depending on who's out there. You know what I'm saying? So, all in all, I thought that the anime, I thought it was okay. It did get better once it started getting closer to the end when we get the Adam versus Zeus fight. And, my overall rating for season 1 of Record of Ragnarok, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I think that it's worth watching, but it's not something that you need to binge like that. And that's all I have to say about that. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Record of Ragnarok, if you have watched it. And if you haven't watched it, I hope that you enjoyed this review, and I do hope that you go and check it out. And then once you do watch it, hop in the comments, let's talk about it. You know who I am, Benjamin Banks. You know where you can find your hero at @KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you for watching this review. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.